Sometimes people eat thinking they're hungry, but they're really not hungry. It's really emotional eating, and they don't know the difference. Maybe this applies to you. Here are some ways you could tell the difference. First of all, if you're experiencing true hunger, it comes on gradually. You're a little hungry, you're a little more hungry, a little more hungry, and you want to eat foods that are nourishing to your body. And then when you eat those foods, you're satisfied. You know when to stop because you knew when to start. So what does that mean? Let's say on a scale of 0 to 3, 3 being the hungriest you could get and 0 being absolutely not hungry. When you get to about a 2, or definitely a 3, it's definitely time to eat. And then when you eat, you feel satisfied, and then you're not hungry anymore, so you know when to stop. Versus if it's emotional eating, you're not hungry most of the time when you eat, so there's no way to gauge when to stop. So you eat at 0 or 1 hunger level, you weren't hungry to begin with, and you're not satisfied, because usually you're going to eat things that satisfy a craving rather than body hunger. Often sugary things, chips and other salty foods, fast foods, comfort foods, foods that do not have a lot of nutrition, and you don't feel good after you eat them. So other signs that you're eating emotionally, there's feelings involved when you finish eating. So you feel a sense of guilt, you feel a sense of shame, you feel a sense of frustration, you feel a sense of failure, because you didn't really want to eat those foods and you wanted to eat just meals and you didn't do that. So if something's driving you besides these bodily signals of hunger, then those are signs that it's emotional eating. Also, if you tend to eat in private, you don't want to eat with other people. You eat by yourself, you eat in your own house, you're a closet eater. That's a sign that you're eating emotionally. Another sign is that you don't sit down at a table with your plate of food and eat. You might nibble all day, standing at your desk, doing work, reading, doing other things, checking your emails, checking your phone. Sometimes that's a sign of just bad eating habit, but often it's a sign that you're not really hungry and you're just eating emotionally, and you don't really want to eat mindfully because it's not the time to eat, and there's an unconscious part of you that knows that. So you kind of nibble and graze. You might get something out of the refrigerator and eat it standing. You might get a snack out of the kitchen cabinet and eat it standing. You might eat in your car while you're driving somewhere. So all those signs that you're not paying attention, you're not sitting and really chewing, enjoying the meal, are signs that it's probably emotional eating. Another sign is binging, where you eat a large quantity of food at once. And often that will be junk food, sugary food, and things like that. And you tend to do that intermittently with almost starving yourself, depriving yourself of a lot of foods that you really want. And then you just can't take it anymore. So you just eat everything in sight, or you eat those foods that you deprived yourself of. Another sign of emotional eating is that you just don't have a good relationship with food. It's kind of a thorn in your side. It never seems to work out right. And even though you have a lot of other successes in your life, food and eating and probably weight maintenance are just things that are just so challenging and hard. So what's one thing that you could do to get started? One thing you might do is just stop when you have the desire to eat something. Sit and take 10 slow breaths. Now, if that craving really gets strong and out of control, it's going to be hard to do this. So the best thing to do is catch it as soon as you can. I really want that chocolate bar. I really want those chips. I have to have ice cream today or I won't make it. As soon as you start to have those thoughts and feelings, stop, take your 10 breaths, evaluate your hunger level on a 0 to 3, and only eat if you're at least a 2. And when you do so, sit down, don't do anything else. That also could be very hard if you're not used to it. and will take some practice. But take your 10 breaths. Often a craving will pass in 2 minutes. And if you take 10 slow breaths, 5 breaths a minute, that craving will be gone. If it's really hunger, then you could proceed and have your meal.